Yeah. Two different styles. Listen. Lama Sabatani, the chef and fame back the Holy Ghost with the Tommy. The pale horse behind me. I know you see them chariots suspended all around me. The lights and the thunder and the sound is astounding. We in the last days. The Lord with me, tell me while I ever be afraid. That's why I'm sharpening my blade. It's hell in the cell, Undertaker on the cage. Throwing mankind from the rafters to the stage. At the same time with his eyes in the blade. Get it, dog, if you afraid. It's written on the page in the scrolls of a sage coming from a different age. Where the last shall be first, and the first shall be slaves. Jesus, the chef in his bag again. 12 tribes finna start battling. And that's when the bones start rattling. And thrones start shattering. Devil's on fire, that's live from the Vatican.
I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Hey, finally I broke out that mold. I rejuvenate my soul. I told them demons adios. Cause anytime they coming back like mold, they don't ever really go. They're just waiting by the door. I can't blame no one for what I chose. Made it bad, of course I know that I'm just reaping what I sowed. Fighting like I'm Bruce Leroy. When my head is underwater, I'm just waiting on the glow. Until it come, the spirits on my top. Devil putting belt to ass. You could be another notch. I get more attention from the fam. Yeah, they checking how I move, but now it's different how they watch. Someone like they waiting for a fall. They're rejoicing if I do, as if I don't know the plot. Don't know the old me is buried alive. I will let you view the body as soon as this post stop. Yeah. See, when you on the right road, the devil takes an avenue to get control of your traction. The soft target, weaker vessel trying to take me out my spirit. I control my reaction. It's easy as the wrong thing being said to each other out of turn. Now we clashing. Surely if I were to give in, everything good in her mind I did would get snatched then. Lord forbid, if I'm not that great and my foot happened to slip and I commit one mistake. Tell me, you gon' handle me with grace. What about my better deeds? You gon' wipe that all away? See, I pray you never fall, man, but if you ever do, those same balances in place. Remember that while you sitting proud with your feet kicked up as you judge another's case. Are you really in the spirit, or you watch your brother fall, then you go and commentate, Yeah. See, we built a little different. Brotherhood, the last chamber, and that's what we propagate. Yeah. Only leaders in my circles run your mouth like L7s. Niggas moving out of shape. Yeah. We don't never take the bait. See, my logo SOT, that ain't how we operate.
Soldier Yatham. Sirek 2. Let's get it.
When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled in our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no tale bearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan. Seem like a never end the war between flesh and the spirit. I heard that voice say this the way I pray my Lord was here. I'm treating sin like it got cooties, don't wanna get near it. If not pertaining to the Father, I'm sorry, I'm fearless. Won't take a left turn all right when it's a narrow path. You keep the law, you get the kingdom, I can simple math. Boast in your house all day on Hamashiach's behalf. Deny the mark of the beast, or drink from the cup of wrath. Keep your spirit pure, practice on fasting and praying. You will say you must multiply your faith and your patience. Love thy neighbor as thyself, don't never betray me. And if you're tempted, pray and say, get thee behind me, Satan. When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted ya and was misled in our past generations? No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan.
I'ma do it how I love, I got my faculties. And every single precepts make my point to value these. Example, humble me, I'm grounded like what gravel be. We law about in any shirt with fringes, that's my casualty. Revelation say the savior color copper beat. Our own ancient kind, but front them crackers copper please. Far balance abomination till God, so now obviously. Give you fair warning, don't try that angle, that's our size of lead. Off the muscle, not one to just watch it suffer. Don't be respect of persons, any wise rebuke it, brother. Prepare myself for tribulations, that which worketh patience. No thinking about being grimy, get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan.
When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted ya and was misled in our past generations? No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan.
Yeah. Live longer.
The A-Smack.
Yeah.
Placed in a timeline a long time ago. I'm just trying to figure out where I fit. I see the world for what it is. Down to the gates of hell we descend, serving the gods of our fathers without no need to repent. We morally blinded, looking for water in dry deserts. With our efforts we apply more pressure. Who be praying for me? Trying to pull out some pleasure from pain, and we keep this up until nothing remains. The world keeps spinning, poor get poor, rich get rich, the good die young. Shots pop, chicks get hit, death is surround us. You can't escape the angel when he calls. Your days are numbered, don't you waste them all. And time keep ticking, with the hand of God I write my vision, hoping my family can go and make a lifestyle with it. Your pain come with a story, you could beat your issue. But if you kill yourself today, you gon' take it with you. Live longer, we here for what we here for.
What you here for?
The story to tell. I don't know where my story gon' end, but if I wake up, I'll do it again. I just gotta live longer. I just gotta live longer. Who am I? I'm just passing by with the wisdom from the one. Don't you forget it. You were sent on this mission to bear witness. Humanity tripping, right and wrong inside the pot, they mixed it. Kill a kid with a gun, shoot him down in his kitchen. Kill a kid in the womb, they gon' tell you it's different. You should ask, what's life? The burden you carry is to observe. In a place where you get nailed to a cross, speaking the word. Take laws, break laws, who really protect it? In God we trust, who really respect it? This America race to the finish line, black and white, who supreme? 60 shots, knee to the neck. Yeah, it's hard to breathe, you crying for peace, trying to release anger, you hanging your head down in defeat, cause you see your people in need. Who are we? Questions we avoid, not to get destroyed. For the pleasures we enjoy, we ain't making noise. You see us struggling, lack of understanding of our nature. The way we truly are is not the way they take us. Dealing with scars that the last generation gave us. Parents create us, but they can't save us. Some sleeping in a slumber, they'll never wake up. For the sake of everything good, I'd save them all if I could. Listen clear, be aware, your pain come with a story. Don't forget to leave it here, live longer. We here for what we here for. but if I wake up, I'll do it again. I just gotta live longer. Do it again. Do it again. I just gotta live longer.
I hope y'all like that. That was Supplication by Roy the Chef. It's dangerous out here. I hope you guys make it home safe.
Why is she eating? She just like, yeah, they would say, she into a skull. Nah, she would say eat for us. Like, crazy. She's just crazy. Yeah, like he's saying. Yo, check it out. You ain't worried about that. They're gonna show you at the end. So that once that knocking out that 1 minute. That's probably.
Yo, what was that about? Don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand.
They got to get with the Devon Denham team, man. They got to get with the Devon Denham team.
Get right and get left, you heard?
Yeah, he got the whole set on.
Denham, man, get right.
Y'all got to get with it. Let me see the back of that joint again. Oh, my God.
And his friends.
Come on, dog.
That's the one.
Y'all got to get with the right team. Yeah.
Above all nations, a brand rooted with our heritage in mind. Featuring the Babylon Has Fallen hoodie, this mighty piece is a bold statement describing the times we're living in. Also perfect for keeping warm while standing firm in your faith. You won't be able to miss the vibrant Song of Solomon tee, inspired by Song of Solomon 1 and 10, a piece that represents our royal heritage that the Most High gave us. Head over to aboveallnations.shop to grab yours now. They're moving fast. That's aboveallnations.shop. Kwame Ashwala. Welcome to Pillars of Rest, where you can find special material for our sisters, by our sisters. This is a Sons of Thunder exclusive platform focused on building, encouraging, uplifting, and engaging with the daughters of Zion. Here you'll find personalized and interactive content geared towards showing what it truly means to be a pillar of rest. Interviews, scripture breakdowns, tips on motherhood, marriage, and testimonials are just the beginning of the many things to learn from and enjoy in this program.
Brought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled in our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery.
Beat money.
Yeah, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, keep me in the palm of your mighty hands. Father, don't let me fall. False excuses, know you heard them all. Could've ignored me, but you heard my call. And you refused to let your servant fall. You know that really keep on calling. Every now and then I get withdrawals. Man, they hit different when your sister center of it all. Have you forget about that time you violated laws? And you needed Abba to forgive you, he forgave it all. That's why I pray that you remember me for memories that made you smile and not the ones that made you judge the least. Father, I pray that when you raise up out that judgment seat, that you see it fit for me to reign with you above the beast. But at the least, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, even if I fall, I know he in charge. The great shepherd of the sheep, I know he hear my voice. He gave me life or death for real, I don't deserve a choice. Took all of those things that was against me, then he made it void. I said, yeah, how was shine? Follow me down these wicked roads, don't let that drama slide. Cause it's been written on them scrolls like when they prophesied. And it don't matter how it goes, you never left my side. Even though I should've died. Why? But your grace is sufficient. Look how you took my wicked mind and then replaced what's missing. Look how you took my spirit blind and then you gave me vision. Even though I was out of line, I refused to listen. You gave me wisdom. That's why all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah.
Hey, shalom, shalom, yasha Allah, shar shabbat. Shalom to everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's tuned in to another episode of the Bar4Bar. You see the title, it's all a fear tactic, right? It is all a fear tactic. We're going to get into some of this, man. This Rodney Hilton case, right? That it's all over social media, it's all over YouTube, all over the news, right? And it's kind of being overshadowed by the Diddy situation, but this is a major situation as well, right? This is a major situation as well, but it's definitely being overshadowed by the Diddy situation. It's kind of being put to the back burner, and they're probably going to try to. They're not. We already know. Let's stop saying try. They're going to put this man up under this jail. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't give this brother, unfortunately, the death penalty. I hate to put that out there, but we know the system in which we live. So we got to stop lying to ourselves like it's going to get better or things have changed, because it hasn't. Right? Things have not changed. Things have not gotten better. Right? So we're going to get into a little bit of this story. And we're going to show, how to... I'm going to show this image first, right? This is why I said that in the first place. It's a fear tactic. I want to show y'all this image. Right? How can I make this big? Here we go. Let me see. All right. Let's show some of these images. The court is full of just officers. It's full of police officers. Right? So this is the fear tactic. How they got all the Edomite cops escorting him, staring at him, right? All in his face, looking at the jury, right? Showing that what? The United States police force is the biggest gang in America.
Yeah.
This is what they're showing. Their force, for one that dies, right? But the importance of this lesson is we have to have this force. We have to have this brotherhood, right? We gotta have this outpour and sense of urgency when something goes wrong and when things are going good for our people. Because for the most part, Black people, families get together usually when what? When people die, grandpa's sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only time people really get together.
We'll get together to mourn.
Yeah, get together to mourn, but nothing good. But these people, they're gonna show their force every court hearing that Mr. Rodney Hilton Jr. has. Man. They're gonna show you that. Right. So before we dive into the lesson, I do want to shout out all my members in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in for another episode of Bar4Bar. We appreciate everybody's consistency and dedication to the channel. Right. Make sure you're tapping into the other lessons, the Friday class, C4N. Don't forget Patreon is doing numbers. The other one just did a great lesson. The other one, Mike Kai just did a great lesson. Captain Aharon just did a great lesson. And then you'll be seeing my lesson here shortly, right? As we continue to grow and build in the faith, right? Also, right? Also, I can't wait to see everybody, man. Right, first fruits, right? June 7th. That's a Saturday. You have no excuse. Even if you live a little far out, you have no excuse not to come to that. Right. The Most High blessed it with the Passover being on the Friday, right? First fruit being on a Saturday. And then obviously, we know Tabernacles is always a week long, right? That'll be the next big thing. We're going to be getting that situated for y'all as well, right? We're going to be getting that situated for brothers and sisters as well in your family so everybody can have all their ducks in order. But right now, our focus is June 7th, Feast of First Fruit, right? Let me pull up the calendar. The next new moon, you have no reason not to come there either, right? Memorial Day, right? The wicked Memorial Day, right? Everybody gonna be down in South Beach, but the Israelites are gonna be doing what? Keeping new moon if your new moon is that day, right? Memorializing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, right? So without further ado, let's get into this lesson. I'll pull this down. My brothers want to get any precepts before we start.
I got some, but I'll do it. You know, I'll do it when it as we get into it.
Okay, so I want to start with a video. All right, let's start with a video, fam. If y'all haven't heard already, right? So I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but just to catch people up to speed, right? Mr. Hilton's son was shot by a few officers. Allegedly, there was a car stolen, police called to the scene. Allegedly, like they always say, he has a gun, they shoot him down. And I'm saying allegedly because we don't know it's true. That's what they do for their people, so we're going to do it for our people. Right? It's always allegedly with them. It be on allegedly that police killed George Floyd. Allegedly, when we saw him sitting on his neck, but it's always allegedly. So that's what we got to do for our people. Right? Allegedly, he had a gun. Allegedly, they found a loaded gun at the scene, investigators say, but they haven't put out all the details surrounding the case of his son. Right? Mm-hmm. So then a few days later, Mr. Hilton allegedly in his car, in his vehicle, runs over an officer, right? Which gets him locked up. And now we're going through this trial. They say that it is for the revenge of his son being wrongfully killed because he did not want to point a gun. He might have had a gun, but he did not point a gun right at the officers. And we're going to show some videos, as the other one did last night, of how the Second Amendment, yes, it is for you, but it's not. It wasn't made for you. If that makes sense. It exists for, let me say it this way. It exists for everyone. Right? But it was not made for you, so-called Israelite man, woman, and child in America. It was not made for you. And time again, we consistently get shown that yes, you may have the right to bear arms, whether it's illegal or legal, because they don't know at the time because they didn't ask these questions. It's just, I see a gun, shoot him. So they don't even know if he had the rights. We don't know. I don't know personally the laws of Cincinnati where this all took place. If you can open carry or have a gun without a license.
It's Ohio. Yeah, you can have a gun.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah.
Right? So all that stuff, the laws, they go out of place for us. But for them, right, you see it with all these different audits, right? They do a lot of audits here in Florida. Florida's not an open carry state, but if you got a fishing pole, right, you can have a rifle or your gun open carry, right? But you see a lot of audits where the police will stop individuals for doing that. And they call their deputies, and all these people get involved. And then just to show the police didn't even know, they don't even know their own laws. But a lot of times that's Edomites doing it. There is some black men doing it. Don't get it twisted, but a lot of times it's Edomites doing that, right? And they're handling them with caution. But when it comes to us, we are handled with disdain, hate. Because remember, the original badge of that police officer is what? Slave catcher. That's the badge of that. That badge that they walk around with and have so much honor in, it's a slave catcher. And when they see us, they still treat us as if. Right? So let's get into this video. You got some, Maharan?
No, just like when you said that, that's if you understand the vagrancy laws and how like you said, a lot of the slave catchers, their job, even when we got after slavery and we got the so-called amendments or the Constitution, our rights, they were set up to enslave us. And sometimes entire ethnic groups of people were given the job of keeping us in line. That was one of the things that the Irish were tasked to do. That's why you'll see a lot of the Irish being the police force, because sometimes you get the Irish that complain about not being treated fairly by the actual Americans. Well, the British whites, the traditional American whites, tasked the Irish with doing that the same way they gave a lot of Italians the firefighting, So it's actually a deep history behind that badge and the original purpose for it. Well, I guess it's a documentary called 13th by Ava DuVernay. That's good to watch on this particular subject.
Hey, I heard that this morning. I didn't want to get too much into it because it's not a lot of details on it, but I did see some videos on that a witness at the accident scene says that he was not the driver. I did see that this morning, but I didn't want to dive too much into it because I couldn't find there was some videos on it, but I couldn't find too much information on it.
Hey, that the security guard that stepped into the elevator with him made a post saying that he was fired.
Really? The security guard, because we got that. We're gonna show that. But you're talking about the security guard that when they was in the elevator and all the white cops.
Yeah, he stepped in and he did not allow them to be in the elevator by himself with them. He made a post saying he got fired. Now I haven't seen it on any big public news things. It's going around TikTok or social media, but he said he was fired for that.
Yeah, and that's how you know, man. This captivity is a great chastening of our people, man. And the Most High has put the most wicked devils in charge and over us from his job. We're gonna show the video. We're gonna show you who he talking about, Elon. Shalom, man. We're gonna show you, right? But the Most High has put the most wicked devils to rule over us, man. And me and my dad was talking about it a couple of days ago, and it's like you can't for 1 second think that these people will have your best interest. Some may be cool, yes, but 10 times out of 10, they're going to choose their own people over you, and they will lie, cheat, and deceive to make sure that happens. You understand me? All right. So let's play this real quick. Fair use. What is it here? All right, this is just our thoughts and comments on this information. Then we got another good video after this, man. All right. So let's get into this. Hey, that's right. That's right. I don't want the man of perdition is being revealed. It's clear as day. Clear as day. And they, yes, conscious. They flip quick. You see it. You see it the most at the workplace. You see it the most at the workplace. And don't get it twisted. They don't like their own either. Because you can see, damn, that's how you talking to me about your own. I'm just listening. I can't imagine how you talk about me to your own. I can't imagine. Because they dog their own out too. That's how you know it's no love amongst that nation, man. But they know when to stick together. Hey, that's right. That's a famous Muhammad Ali quote, man. There's 100,000 snakes in the bucket, right? And there's a potentially 100 good ones. Do you expect me to stick my hand in that bucket and try to grab one of the 100 good ones? It's the same thing with the so-called Caucasian race. There may be, right? Let's do this. There may be, let's just say 10 million Caucasians, and let's say 1 million good ones. Way overdoing it, right? Way overdoing it. Let's just say, do you expect me out of the tent to try to grab one of the 1 million good ones? No. I'm going to go be with my people. Right? I'm going to go be with my people. It's a good question. Sis said, why don't Israel know when to band together? Because we're being deceived by social media and all these different industries. So now we have lost culture and we have no identity. So it's impossible to band together with those two. If you watch just hip hop culture, rap culture, black culture, who invented that? I'm gonna ask the chat. Who invented black culture? Before we get into this, right? That's a good question. Excellent scripture. Who invented black culture? Esau. Right. Esau invented black culture. Why does that Captain Yakov say that? Because the hip hop industry and the music that is being pushed to you, right? They set that up. They allow that or not allow that to be played. What you watch on TV, they put that out there. When is the last time we seen a proud black family, schools, businesses, the man was the head of the household, a woman in order television show? You don't. Or the last thing we had that was Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show, and that's gone.
Well, Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince too. Fresh Prince, you're right. Fresh. Now look at the new Fresh Prince though. The new Fresh Prince is crazy. If y'all been following it.
Yeah, Lil Ashley is crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. But even from a movie, when's the last time we had a wholesome movie? We get the thug stuff, or they'll keep remaking and recycling. We don't need another gangster movie. We don't need another slave movie. Where's a movie about Africa? The closest you got was Black Panther, and even then they said, "Oh no." Let's take this over here.
Yeah, I agree. I watch it. I like the show, but it is off the new Fresh Prince, right? But the Esau's media teams are pushing that, and they create our culture. right? They, with them pushing that, they create our culture. Pants sagging, men wearing dresses now, painting your nails.
Well,
that's not of us. But when we did have great coaches, what did they do? Black Wall Street bombed. That was a terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
That was a terrorist attack.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that was the only time that the U.S. military used aircraft to conduct a mission on
their own soil,
American soil. It was the
That's
only
right.
time.
Absolutely right, Art.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
And then I mean there are a bunch. There's Seneca Village. There in Georgia, there's a place called Lake Lanier, right? And Lake Lanier, because Esau has a tendency of destroying Judite towns and then putting a lake over that town. You know, or putting something on top of it so you cannot excavate the bones. It's like essentially forgotten about. Lake Lanier is one of those places. That's why it's spooky. It's spooky. Like stories about this saying that ghosts come out or people go missing, etc. But that's another place. There are actually a bunch of them. It's a book called was this it? Yeah. Oh, say can you see? Right, by Frank Jordan, right? Brothers know who he is, but what this does is goes into a lot of the unknown atrocities that was done on the Southern Kingdom that people don't know, you know, and it's pretty thick, and it has all type of resources and stuff.
Oh, praise you. We need books like that, man.
Yeah.
We need books like that. I was reading a good book too. Well, before I get into that, also the reason we don't know our culture is because, like you said, they destroyed so much of it in schools. They started in slavery, but also they hide or hijack all our great inventors. I bought a book for my daughter, right, with all the black inventors, and it's like we invented everything. They know Thomas Edison, Thomas Jefferson as some of the smartest people on the planet, but not knowing that most of their quote unquote slaves, right, built a lot, created a lot of the things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. The slaves had tons of inventions that their masters took credit for.
Yeah, a
you
lot.
know?
And
Well, I got this preset to kind of go into it, and you can continue explaining. Of course, we read this all the time, but it's Micah chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." You know, who has the power to enact the evil that they devise? Obviously, it's someone that's in power who has controls over these systems, right? Verse number 2, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. And they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." When you look at how Central Park in New York was created, that used to be a black town that was taken. There are a bunch of cases of like eminent domain, essentially them saying, "Hey, you know what? We need to take this area." If you look at the Dawes Act of 18, I can't remember whatever, but it's the DAWES Act, in which the federal government says that Native Americans needed a form of reparations before the atrocities done to them. They deserve financial benefits, they deserve lands and special protections for them as a form of reparation. So what happened was a lot of Edomites, they paid the commissioner, because it was the commissioner who was in charge of the disbursement of these funds. They were able to pay $5 and be reclassified as Native American. And at the same time, the authentic Native Americans were reclassified as Negro, thus disqualifying them from those protections or from those benefits, and qualifying the $5 Edomitic people now being called Indians and granting them those benefits. That's how you get the rise of people like Sarah Palin, who say, you know, I'm 5% Indian, when actually they're not. So that's showing they are oppressing a man and his heritage. And we know that the laws, Sirach 17:11, that is our heritage. Right? And we know that according to Deuteronomy 4 and 5, these law, statutes, commandments, this is our wisdom in the sight of the nation. And this is this is what was taken away from us. And this is how they oppress us by giving us folly to follow, showing us terrible images, speaking wickedly concerning our elders. That's why the scriptures will tell you, hey, ask about your fathers and how they did their valiant acts. You know, and that's which is why they won't even show history prior to the slave trade.
Yeah. That's real.
They will not touch. Anytime they touch any Native American history, they'll only do it to show a Gadite sister going to Esau. You know, or they'll try to portray Gad as some type of savages, and which justifies the treatment towards them, and then they take the women.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into how they justify things to show that it was okay to do stuff. We're gonna definitely get into that.
Yeah.
Let's get Kazak's precept real quick. On that point too, I'm reading a good book. It's called Bar4Bar, right? And
it's called who?
Bar4Bar, and it talks about the last slave ship, or one of the last slave ships that came to the Americas.
Who's that by?
Specifically, it's by Zora Neale. One of the last slave ships that came to Mobile, Alabama, right? The ship was called the Clotilda, and they burned the ship so nobody could find it. But the crazy thing about why they brought these 100 slaves from Benin, right, on the west coast of Africa to Mobile, was the reason they did this, family. It was a bet. Timothy Meyer bet another Edomite, right, that he could take a trip to Africa, get about 100 to 120 enslaved Africans, right, and bring them back to Mobile, Alabama, and make them work without the U.S. federal government finding out. Because at this time, this was around 1860, the slave trade had been abolished. Like, you were not allowed, right, to take a ship to Africa and bring enslaved Africans back anymore, which we know are, for the most part, Israelites. Now, it's hard to tell. His nationality is really tough because he does go back to a lot of his African roots. Yeah, that's a good book. That's the name of it right there. It's a real good book, though. And it just tells the story of his life.
I'm about to post a link to the PDF drive in the chat.
Okay, Con. I forgot you be getting books like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a decent book, though. Got a lot of history in it. But it's just to show like how they hide the history. First of all, they burned the ship. They just found it, I think, in the 2000. It was early 2000s, right? Or later 2000, like maybe 10 years ago. 5 to 10 years ago, they just found the ship. And they're not even sure if those are the real remains of it. But they brought him back, man. And you got to just hear the story. And it's a good story because he himself is telling the story. And how she wrote it was how he was speaking. So you got to kind of dissect what he's saying, because he's speaking like in that old, English, broken English, barely don't know how to talk English, right? Language. So you got to kind of dissect. This is a good book, though, for brothers and sisters to check out, about the Clotilda, basically the last slave ship that came, one of the last that came to Alabama, right? But it's just so much hidden information is what we're getting at. So much hidden information that we'll never unless you read and dive into it, the people that was twerking at that graduation, they don't care about that. And it's for us to resurface these things and put this out there so our people understand we great beyond rap videos and Sexy Red and Glorilla, man. We're better than that. That's what they want our men to do. They want our men and women to, they want you to portray that lifestyle. That's what they want. And they're happy with that. That's why when you the Black Panther movement, destroy that. Malcolm X, destroy him. Marcus Garvey, destroy you. Martin Luther King, anybody that got any kind of said voice, destroy him. Because they know the black man is the stability of the nation. If he's in order, the nation will fall in place. But it's their job to keep you out of order with the social media and the media outlets and all the folly that's going on in the world to keep you distracted so you're not even in tune to really the laws of Yahweh and who you're supposed to be as an individual, man. They take away purpose, right? But let's get into this, man. Let's talk. Let's get into this.
Up in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm Symphony. While the Diddy trial seems to be taking up everyone's attention, the trial of Rodney Hinton Jr. continues to gain added layers as the father who is charged with hitting a police deputy.
So you got actions of why he got these bruises and stuff on his face, right? Why he got these bruises and marks all over his face? Obviously, he in an accident for sure, but nah, that looked like a little something different, right? And also, too, like when you really start to dissect this, imagine how they had him in the interrogation room. They probably wasn't feeding him. They wasn't giving him the water. They had it freezing cold in there. Wouldn't let him talk to nobody. Kept him probably chained to the table for hours and hours. You gotta, the psychology of these people, they know what they're doing. Right? They're trying to break this man. And they want to show if any other Negro try something like this, this is gonna be you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the humiliation. It's a fear tactic. Right? Let's keep going.
With his car the day after his son was killed in a police shooting. Headlines initially reported Hinton had filed a $25 million federal lawsuit claiming he was physically assaulted after police took him into custody on May 2nd. That lawsuit also states multiple officers were present for the hearing, which created an atmosphere of fear.
Look at all these officers.
Yeah.
Nobody else could even sit down up in there. That's the camaraderie they have, the gang culture that they have. You can't mess with the black and blue. Right?
Yep.
Surveillance and intimidation. Now, if you remember earlier this week.
So this is the officer I believe you were speaking about.
Hey, and look, check the chat. I sent a video. It started 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I sent a video where he's talking about him being fired. And also I just I posted the link of where people can download the book in the chat.
Okay. All praise. All right, we're gonna get into that. Let's play this first.
A viral video would show Hinton would be accompanied by several white officers and one black officer. The black officer was celebrated on social media for not leaving Hinton in the custody of only white officers. Now, with more information, it's possible the black officer knew what happened on May 2nd and wanted to prevent it from happening again.
That's a real, we need people like that because we got a lot of coons out here.
That's right.
Yeah. We got a lot of coons out here that would have assisted in that. Just for the stigma of I'm one of y'all. I'm with y'all. Right? That's why they got to do that. Yeah, you see that this he mugged him like I don't care about none of that. It's for my son, right? He don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
That's right. They even got the black officers scared.
They attack black fathers all the time. Look how they do LeVar Ball. Look at how they did Deion Sanders. You know, look at how they do anybody. I mean, even Serena and Venus's father. Anytime you got a person that's a black man or even a Latino man that's trying to stand up unapologetically for their child against oppression, against wrongdoing, they deem you as crazy, they deem you as aggressive, and etc. It's a buck breaking, and it's a way because it's the same spirit that tried to get the black man away from his family. It's the same spirit that wants a man that want to oppress the widows, right?
Right, and don't get it twisted because we know how you devils are. The Israelites are not saying that if he did in fact do that by running over the officers, that's what he should have did. We're not glorifying that, but we're putting y'all under a magnifying glass and showing what y'all really stand for and how y'all move. That's what we're doing, right?
Yep.
Because y'all don't want black men to be fathers and be in a household and be an authority and a leader in the household. Y'all don't want that. That's not what y'all want. Y'all want to destroy the family. That's why you have so much stuff in place to destroy the family. Right? That's it. You said what? You got something out? The brother got precepts. Bring them out.
Yep. Yep. Start it. Bring out Isaiah chapter 10. Start at verse 1. Hey, can y'all? It don't look like the link is in the chat. I see it on my phone. Do you see it?
The link to the article, or the one?
The link to the book where you can download that book.
I don't see it. Send it in the chat and then I'll post it.
All right. Okay, but start at Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, Baba Kashal.
Count on one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Because see, listen, in order to make a decree, to give a decree, you have to be in a power seat to be able to write that and enforce that. And we know who is in that position, right? Boom. All right, good. Yeah, we know who is in that position to be able to enforce them. But woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, who make these terrible unrighteous laws and who enact them in an unrighteous, unfair, unjust way, right? Go ahead.
And that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
This to oppress a man's child, to oppress a family, that's grievous. And they prescribed this grievousness unto us because it was in the power of their hand to do so. They literally create these stupid laws, create these stupid decrees, and then they enforce them unrighteously. Right? Keep going.
Verse 2. To turn aside the needy from judgment. And to take away the right from the poor of my people.
Right? They're taking away the rights of the poor of the Lord's people, which is us. They take away our rights. Right? Keep going.
That widows may be their prey.
So,
and
okay, now, yeah, just read that out, and I'm gonna go.
And that they may rob the fatherless.
So think about it. So first off, in order for someone to be a widow, in order for someone to be a fatherless, you have to kill the man. So they make these decrees, they kill our fathers, they destroy our fathers, and then they press upon our widows, our women, and they rob the fatherless of what? Not only monetarily, but from opportunities, spiritually, mentally. They rob our children of the rights that they have as a person on this earth, as a child of the Lord, as a citizen, through these unrighteous decrees, right? Keep going.
Count out of one. Verse 3. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far?
And what are they going to do when the Lord enacts his judgment? Are you going to say you didn't do this? Surely not. Keep going.
To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory?
Who is going to help the nation that oppressed the world when they cry? You can read how the nations are gonna wail for Babylon, but once Babylon is destroyed, it's over with. Right? Jump down to verse 6 and see what the Lord calls that nation.
Count out of one. Verse 6. I will send him against a hypocritical nation.
You're a hypocritical nation who make these laws and don't follow them. You're a hypocritical nation to put the word of God in your mouth and say, in God we trust, but then you act like this and you destroy his pearls, his people. You're a hypocritical nation to do people like this, to take their inventions and say it's your own.
Yep.
I mean, I can keep going, but that gets the point right there, right? So finish this out and then we can play the video. Finish that verse.
Count out of one. And against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
Did we say it or did the book say it?
The book said it up. Plain.
All right. What is mire? Boo-boo.
Yeah.
So it says, you will be tread down like boo-boo in the street, stepped on like a piece of...
That's right. That's what it say.
All right. Okay.
Let's keep rolling.
A portion of the new lawsuit reads, plaintiff was subjected to physical abuse and courtroom intimidation in violation of constitutional protections. Defendants' deliberate actions caused plaintiff severe psychological trauma, public humiliation, and emotional damage.
Yeah, and they planned that. We're going to get him to a room. We're going to get this man to a room. Ooh, when we get out here, we're going to... Look how soft they is, too. They ain't even... I bet they ain't even uncuff him to let him at least fight back. They just beat him up, cuffed. The weakest nation. At least let him fight. All right, y'all so tough. It's already probably 10, 12 of y'all. Nah, we're going to leave him cuffed and we're going to stomp him out cuffed. Just weak, man.
According to NBC News, Hinton is suing for unlawful imprisonment, alleging he was detained unlawfully without due process and without a valid conviction. In addition, conspiracy to deprive rights, intimidation, and excessive force, emotional distress, and breach of oath of office were also listed in the suit. Now, out of the $25 million Hinton is...
And what's crazy is, too, because I believe that's his lawyers, right? You got to be careful with them because you don't know if they getting manipulated, who team they going to be on.
That's right.
Right? If they calling his phone, threatening his children and his family. It's a lot of games these devils play, man.
I've seen two personal experiences. This is not something I read about, in which the lawyer or the side from the other team is collaborating with the other side, either financially, some other means. So, hey, look, this is what we need to do. So, but let's just go through the motions. I've personally seen it twice.
Because they all work for each other. They all sending each other Merry Christmas cards and sending Thanksgiving texts. They all doing that. The public defender, the judge, the lawyer, the officers, all of them, they all in cahoots, man. Yep. It's one big system.
Yep. And they really care about their conviction rate or their record. And if I know that I want to go from defense to prosecutorial and eventually make DA, I want to get good and chummy with this DA. So think about it. Me and this DA, we work together. We got to make deals on dozens of cases over years and years and years. You just a number in a case to me. You gonna go and either get off or go to jail, whatever. But this person, this my op, we work together and we've been doing it for years. So of course we're gonna do something in the best interest because I'm gonna scratch your back and you're gonna scratch mine. I'm gonna give you a deal today because tomorrow I'm gonna need it.
That's right. He's probably under so much fire for even defending him. Right? Because that's what they do. Right? That's what they do. And they have, it's so sad because they have to throw this brother under the jail. Because if not, they know that the people will go crazy. The white supremacists, they'll riot that courtroom probably. They'll probably try to take matters into their own hands. That's how they move. That's who they are. Like, we got to stop forgetting who these people are, man.
Suing for $5 million.
It's good that he's suing them and opening the eyes because he's not the first brother that got done like this. They've been doing this. They always do this.
For compensatory damages, while $20 million is for punitive damages. That same source reports the Cincinnati Police Department, and the Hamilton County Sheriff.
Man, look how they got him surrounded in there. Look at this devil here.
I already know who you're talking about.
Look how they on him. Like they got him surrounded. For what? Why is he surrounded like this? What's the dude's name that shut up the church and they gave him Burger King or McDonald's or whatever?
Dylan Roof.
Dylan Roof. He was not surrounded. Hold on, let's get this. Let's get it.
No, and look, what they did do for him is take him to Burger King so he can get his last burger before taking him to jail. That's what they did do.
There's no way they had him surrounded like this. Look at this man. This man ain't surrounded. He's sitting down. Look at this. He's not surrounded in court. He's sitting down. He ain't surrounded at all. He's walking in. See, but then angelic boy. That's what they do, right? Angelic boy. That's exactly what they do. I want to pull your video up. I want to pull your video up real quick.
No, but you gotta, all right, yeah, and then show the video of him in the elevator.
Okay, Con. Is it in your video or live?
Con.
Okay. All right, let me just pull this up. Right here. Let's mute this damn commercials. You said I'm gonna start back a little bit.
All right. Yep.
And in my honest opinion, if they were up to nothing.
Look at how he looking though. You can tell. Look how he looking.
Right.
And go ahead.
You might have to rewind it because it's really powerful. We got to show him walking in there, and the change in their countenance. And when that brother walked in.
Okay, let me find that. Hold on, we're gonna do this together. Or we're gonna become detectives. We're gonna do this together.
Right. Because obviously they've been beating that dude up. They've been tearing him up when they can in private. And they probably have some more of that ready and waiting for him. And the brother who realized that, he did not allow them to be alone in that elevator. And he walked in and stared them all down because it was understood what was happening. And they kind of smirked with a sense of disappointment. And that brother was fired for this. Well, think about it. He's protecting and serving. He's putting his life on the line. A person who was signed up to put his life on the line and protect and serve and be blue, that's not even worth anything because he stood in the way of you getting your vengeance.
Mm-hmm. Look up. What's this? Oh, I got it right here. Yeah.
What? It's a caught checking camera.
Yeah. So we're gonna see like he tried to check. Yeah. Oh, that music might get us flagged. I gotta turn that off. So we just gotta watch. We're gonna have our own commentary.
Huh. Why is he so worried about whether he's being filmed or not?
Now look how he know. The Jake know. That's why look how he walked in. Nah, y'all thought y'all was about to get away. Where he came from too. Where did Jake come from? In that elevator, air is behind up, man. You know it.
You notice they didn't speak.
Didn't say. Hey, they didn't say nothing to him. The dude with that hat, his mouth ain't move. Let's go back.
Can you make this bigger?
Can't make it bigger unless somebody else can find a new one. My detectives, see my soldiers, y'all supposed to be detectives sending me videos, finding it while we watching this one. We need to hear it. Look, he didn't even acknowledge him. Didn't say nothing. Now he looked up. Because he know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to play his video. Hold on. Let's see if we can hear this.
I told you they're about to roll out the red carpet for him. He was going to get the royal treatment. Get treated just like a king. See, because he was checking out this camera before they got on the elevator. He was checking to see if the camera was on. When I saw this, I literally stopped the video and out loud said, "What the fuck?"
You can't say that.
They're getting ready to roll him up. That's why he wanted to know if the camera was on. And surprisingly, looked at it and still was wrong. But this actually happens all the time. I see videos, body cam videos on a regular basis where the officer doesn't realize he's live. And every once in a while, they'll slip up and they'll say something. What I have seen
happens all the time, man.
I just sent you on TikTok. I sent one, or you could probably search on TikTok of the dude talking about being fired for that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna talk about it on the video you sent. I think he goes into it. So now let's hear this commentary. If y'all don't got this sister Lisa, she's pretty good too. I used to watch her.
Who?
Or the sister that you sent.
Oh God.
Your video, I think she know the truth for sure.
Then what difference would it have made for him to get on that elevator or not? So it just, in my opinion, confirmed they were going to do something. And this man getting on the elevator foiled their plans.
Right.
So I do have his video, and he's going to tell you what happened. But I believe it's no coincidence that he got on this elevator and that same day he was fired. Not a coincidence. I definitely don't believe that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the video, and I'll be right back with the rest of my commentary.
Hey, this is heavy, right? Because the good brother Michael, right? He just sent me the video too, and it confirms what we said. They didn't say one word to him. He just tapping his back, his belt. They didn't say one word to that brother, man. Why? Because they had a plan. And that's crazy. Same day. That's right, same day. They're about to tear him up. Gloves on. They know what's going on.
Yeah. Hit them all in the body, probably not the face.
Not the face, so they can't see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably hit him in the nuts and everything, man. He looked like he hurting right now. To me. Let's hear him out.
Well, I was fired from yesterday because of the Rodney Hinton situation. The young man, son was found alive by the Cincinnati Police Department. So this what happened. While I was on break, right, I heard a supervisor spoke along our colleagues. So we work along with K9. We also work along with NYPD. He was talking about the Rodney Hinton situation. He said, well, y'all people have to understand. And I'm like, excuse me, y'all people? Well, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't know what you mean.
You gotta check stuff like that too. They be trying that at work. They always trying that. Yeah, this is crazy. Where did his GoFundMe go? Where did his GoFundMe go? How are they taking GoFundMe downs now? But that they be doing this at work. You people, they be doing a little slight thing. I was just talking to an Edomite at my job. She said she grew up, I think she said in Ohio or somewhere in the Middle East. I mean Midwest, right? She's like, I didn't even know slavery existed like that. I looked at this old lady. I said, lady, you was born probably in 1950. 19s, you probably a little bit younger than my grandmother. You didn't know slavery existed. It was news to me that, there was different bathrooms and I'm like, are you stupid? You know what I asked her? I said, you know what a sundown town is? She said, no, I have no idea. I said, that's a town that still exists today where black people can't go there, kill them. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. What are you gonna do about it? That's what I should have said.
Now that you know.
Now that I know, right? Now that you know. What do you think we should do about that?
Did you know that there was a place, I want to say in Mississippi, that they never communicated to their slaves that slavery was free? And so up until the 1960s, they still were in chattel slavery.
That's right.
Yep. It was a whole family. I think Vice did a documentary on it, but it was until 1960 something. They were still in actual chattel slavery, the kind that you see like 12 years of slavery until the 60s.
Hey, same thing with this guy. The black soldiers that was fighting against slavery had to come and tell them, like, you free now, like, go. Like, they was just working. Like, they didn't know what, like in the book, he like, I didn't even know what master went. The soldiers came and they told me you free now. Because they're like, why tell him? They said, where was that again now? You said Mississippi?
Yeah. Okay. I'll post a story.
Well, let's hear the brother testimony.
If you want to get technical, a man's innocent proven guilty. A charge doesn't mean the man was prosecuted. It's just a charge.
It does for black people, though. A charge for a black man means he's guilty. A charge for the other race, the Caucasian race, means guilty and proven until proven innocent. Or innocent until proven guilty. But for us, we are guilty every single time. And the media lets us know that.
He said, go to break. And I said, I'm already on break. Make a long story short, he called his account manager, and the account manager said I was removed from the schedule. So that's how I got fired from my job. How could you ever take a child's life because of skin color? Don't you know that child somebody's son? You took away George Floyd, Eric Garner, now Ryan Hinton. The city rose from the darkness. The city rose up from the darkness. How can you ever take a child's life because of skin color? How long are we going to take this?
That's the question. How long are we going to take it, man? But guess what? The Israelites can answer that. The answer to that question is, as long as we stop keeping God's commandments or saying they're done away with and neglecting them, that's how long we're going to take this. Because we have to get our heritage back. Can we get that? What is that? Sirach 17 and 11? That's Sirach 17 and 11?
Yeah.
Let's bring that out.
Yes. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes, chapter 17, and verse number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge in the law of life for an heritage.
Right. Read it again.
Counter one. Beside this, he gave them knowledge in the law of life for an heritage.
So besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. This is our heritage, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child. Keep God's law. This is the foundation of our people. And to treat people and to treat each other as such when it comes to the laws of God. Keep going.
Counter one. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments.
Because the Most High God made an everlasting covenant with us, and he showed us his judgments. What are his judgments? Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. Leviticus 26, the entire chapter. And so on and so forth when you read the prophets.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
the
so
judgment.
read Sirach 24 and 23, and then also check the private chat because I posted the stories and the articles about the slavery. So somebody read Sirach 24 and 23.
Count on the one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24, verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob.
That's clean. That's plain. That law and everything that's in the book, that's our heritage, our ancestors, our forefathers. That's literally why the book of Chronicles is called the book of Chronicles. It's chronicling what we had. It's our family history.
Mm-hmm.
It's our heritage. You know? But
Hey, how you get these links is, if I don't know if an Android can do it, but an iPhone, you screenshot the picture, the comment, and then you can copy and paste it. I don't know if an Android can do that, but if you screenshot,
can't they just go into the live chat and then
you can't press it in the live chat, so you got to screenshot it, and then picture you can copy the link from there. Usually the live chat, it don't let you copy links. That's how you do that with an iPhone. Android should let you do that too. Go ahead,
man, that threw me off. I don't know. Who's whatever Androids, but no, but yeah. So if y'all are interested in finding some history behind that, please do that, or just look it up. Just say African Americans still in slavery in the 1960s. The article is one by Black Youth Project. The brother said he's able to click it on the live chat, and another one by Vice. So boom. All right.
I'll praise. Yeah. Let's see what else the brother got to say.
How long we gonna take this? Us people have to stand together. Us people have to stand together. Let Ronnie Hinton know he's not alone. Let Ronnie Hinton know he's not alone. How could you ever take a child life because of skin color? We have to stick together, people. Because any day, that's all we got. Remember, it's strength and unity. It's strength and unity. Thank y'all guys for support. Y'all guys have a blessed day.
Now, it is strength and unity, right? But the unity gotta be behind something.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. You have to be able to unify under something. We have, as Black people, we soul searching so much for our identity, trying to figure out who we are and what to follow. And if you read the laws of God, there's no better thing to get Baruch 4:1, right?
Yeah. I'm already there at one.
Read that.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. Mm-hmm. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever. Mm-hmm. All they that keep it shall come to life.
That's how we unify. That's how we get our strength. Once you keep the commandments, you come to life. But like Ezekiel said, we are the valley of dry bones. When we go to Lamentations, go to Lamentations, I think it's 2, right? Read that again, all right.
Count out one. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever. Mm-hmm. All they that keep it shall come to life.
Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
That's what we are. We're getting killed in the streets, live on TV now, and we're spiritually dead.
Read verse 2.
Dead, verse 2.
Turn thee, O Jacob.
Do what?
Turn thee, O Jacob.
This is the strength he wants us to have. This is the unity people want us to have, but they ain't turning to the Lord. Jacob is not turning. Jacob, right now, brothers is teaching in the streets, and their head is hard against our heads right now. Brothers is about to go to camp later today, and heads will be hard.
That's right.
Right? You're going to be banging foreheads. Why? Because you don't want to accept what? The laws. Right? Go ahead, Ab.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Come. That's the only way we're going to be illuminated. Because our people, we gloomy right now. Very gloomy right now. It's a darkness over our people. Let's go to Lamentations real quick.
Counter 1. You said Lamentations 2.
Start at verse 15.
Counter 1. It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 15. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
Read it again.
Counter 1. All that passed by thee, all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
They what?
They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
They hiss and wag their heads at us. The rap videos saying you want bodies, the graduations. Come on. These people, they're never gonna be nothing. They ain't never gonna let them keep doing that. Yep. Do you understand Elon Musk? He's trying to go to Mars. Wait a minute, think about it. Think about it. Elon Musk is building rockets to go to Mars to find life on a new planet. We're throwing money at a high school graduation like it's the end of the world. Like it's it is a great accomplishment. Don't get it twisted, but like we've done something. Think about that. We got a lot of growth. Like
the standard is too low.
Standard is low.
Read Psalms 80 and 6.
When are we gonna start going to get the PhDs and the new inventors gonna come up?
Yeah. Or hey, look, let's just say school ain't your thing. Where's your business?
Yeah.
And listen, when you get that business, where's your good business practices? Where's your professionalism?
Yeah. Because it's the thing in the black community. If you want the job done right, call the white man. Why is it like that? Why is it like that?
God. Hey, another thing. Hey, look, Judah, stop asking for discounts in these black businesses.
Yeah, you got to every time.
You'll turn around and brag about how much you spent on another nation's business, but immediately expect a deal from your own nation. Like they owe you something as if the value isn't cheaper. You should want to pay them more to circulate the dollars.
Yeah, they don't see it like that. You won't even tip them. But the reason why they come to the house with the attitude, you ask them, can you take your shoes off? They gotta make a snug fit. Come on, bro. Like the conversation is bland. Like I want you here, but you do the job, but that's the stereotype of our people. And it's really not even like that all the time, but that's the stereotype that what they probably created. Because what did they say? Black people don't work hard. How? We built the entire America. That's the worst. Black people don't work hard. We worked hard for 400 years. Actually, we tired of working for y'all. That's the reason.
Yeah. That's why they took trades out of school and gave you sex ed.
That's right.
Like what?
That's right.
Think about that sex ed. Why would they put that and teach that in the book to high school students, middle school students? It's to get you blacks to have sex.
Right, to put that on your mind, to put that seed. Look, why do they try to give children a STD virus for what's the name? A shot for hepatitis and all this other stuff when that's your child. Unless you're preparing them ahead of time for the lasciviousness that you about to put on them. Read Psalms 80 and 6.
Bring it out.
Vaccine, that's what I was thinking of.
Another one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 80, beginning at verse 6. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors.
Right.
And our enemies laugh among themselves.
They laughing amongst themselves at us because they know what they got planned for us. They know exactly what they're doing. Watch how I get these N-words. Watch what I do to them. Watch this. We're about to get rich off of them. We're the laughing stock. Especially, man, I tell you, in them Eastern societies and the Moabite and Ammonite, they're so overtly racist on a lot of their shows, and still to this day will do blackface and make a mockery out of us. It's insane.
Yeah.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
You know, it's crazy how we don't, you know, as a nation, we don't see the narrative that's being pushed, you know, amongst Esau and understanding what his agenda is. You know, we take for granted, you know, the life that we live now, you know, because
they guard us.
What people want is they want their own sense of freedom, not understanding that the mindset that you have, it's been given to you. What's being perpetuated is a lifestyle that's more conducive to Esau and not to your own nation.
That's right.
So the things that you watch on TV is perpetuating their agenda, and it's demoralizing your nation at the same time. So somebody give me Sirach chapter 5 and start at verse 2. And then another brother hold the book of Baruch chapter 3.
This the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5, verse 2. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart.
Mm-hmm.
And say not, who shall control me for my works?
Say not, who's going to control me? This is the mindset of our younger generation. They don't want to submit themselves to an authority that's been given to them, you know, by the Most High God, to submit to these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Most High gave us commandment to create order, to create moral and value within our own community in ways that we should walk and adhere to the lifestyle that the Most High has set for his own people. But we don't want that. The book of Maccabees said that we like the glory of the Grecians more than the honor of our fathers. So we no longer value the things that our forefathers used to value. Look, you even see during the civil rights era, you will see those who attach themselves to the Black Panther movement. You will see Edomites scattered among them. You will see some of them trying to stand, you know, for the injustices that were done to blacks, where they would sit in white-only establishments with, you know, blacks and take part in some of the ridicule that blacks had to go through. Where do you see that today? Where do you see the Edomites standing for Ryan Hinton? Where do you see them, coming in together for unity for the injustice that's being done to that brother?
Right.
But we liken the glory of the heathen more than we like the honor of our fathers. The solidarity amongst our people, man, it's diminished, it's gone. Because we have that mindset that I'm not going to be controlled. I'm going to do what I want. But what you want is a narrative that's being pushed to you. You want the glory, the glam. You want to be famous at any cost. So if it means that you have to demoralize yourself on TikTok, you got to demoralize yourself on all of these social media platforms so that you can get rich, you're going to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
If it means that you have to exploit your own people to get rich, you're going to do it. Why? Because you saw the glory of Esau in their wealth and it caused you to stumble. So now it means nothing to you to see the oppression of your people and you stand by and watch it. When we see the oppression of our people, we're supposed to come to their aid. Not pull out our cell phone and start laughing in the background. These are the type of things that our people don't take into consideration. Read that book of Baruch, chapter number 3. Start at verse 10.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 10. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land?
How did this happen, man? How did such a lawless people take us over? Keep reading.
How thou art waxen old in a strange country.
Man, we done got old in this captivity. The mindset of our forefathers, man, to fight against injustice, man, it's gone.
Yeah.
When we were playing that video where that white lawyer was defending Ryan Hinton, where is Ben Crump? Where are all of our civil rights lawyers that understood, oh, there's an injustice done and there's an opportunity for me to make money? But when is it an opportunity not for you to make money, but to stand for your people? Where are you? Al Sharpton, where are you? Where are all of our civil rights so-called leaders that would stand for blatant injustices? Where are you in this case?
It's a good question. Missing in action.
You're nowhere to be found. So that means that you have likened the glory of the Grecians better than the honors of your fathers.
Mm-hmm.
You drank the Kool-Aid along with them.
You want me to read that for you?
Go ahead, read that, Adam.
All right. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 15.
Read it out.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
These type of things is coming upon our people because you want to be so much like them that you will do by any means to exploit yourself to the top, to exploit yourself to a status that's vain.
Yep.
It has no value. You know, when you stand before the Most High and you give an account for the things done, the Most High ain't gonna say, man, how many followers you had on Instagram?
How many cars you had? How big was your house? How many square feet was it?
Mm-hmm.
The Most High not caring about that. But when you don't feed the poor, when you don't defend the poor, the meek, you're gonna give an account for that, man. But what's being said and what's being perpetuated among our nation, man, it's demoralizing our people.
Yeah.
And our people think it's fun. You don't want to be controlled because you want to have fun.
That's right.
And this is what's destroying our younger generation. And when you see, man, when I saw videos that was showed on the Sabbath class, man, that was disheartening.
Man.
Because what our people go back to Baruch chapter 3. Keep reading on that.
All right.
And another brother get first, give me 2 Maccabees 6. And we're gonna read verse 8 and 9.
All right. This is a book of Baruch chapter 3 and verse I'll start at verse 10 again because we left off in the middle. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave, that thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
That's right. Keep reading.
For if thou hadst walked in the way of God, thou would have dwelled in the peace forever.
So if you would have walked in the ways of God, you would have dwelt in peace forever. So we tend to forget the end result, and we're looking for self-gratification right now in this life. We as Sons of Thunder, from the soldiers to the officers to the captain to the elder, we're not just laboring for our own selves. We're laboring for all of our brothers and sisters that are viewing this live, as well as our children and our nation. We putting this work in to establish the families of Israel in the earth, man.
That's right.
We don't care about the status and the prestige. If you're gonna walk this walk, you're gonna be in this life, man. Hey, you gotta submit yourself to the Most High God. When you submit yourself to the Most High God, give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, start at verse 6. The Most High already told us what your status would be in the earth, how you would be viewed. But our people don't want that, man. Hey, the Most High gave you how many subscribers and viewers you gonna have if you keep his commandments. He already told you that. Read that, man.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So all of the nations are going to take note of you. Y'all are demoralizing and degrading yourself for a couple 100,000 followers. When the Most High said that all nations are going to take account for your wisdom and knowledge, and it's going to be directly in their sight. Man, how many subscribers is that? The entire world. But y'all want OnlyFans. Y'all want to twerk at your graduation. Y'all want to turn up at a graduation where some of our brothers and sisters didn't even live long enough to graduate because they pushing the narrative that y'all have drank the Kool-Aid for.
Yep.
And they died. Man, it's such disheartening, to hear and to see our people just going further down this rabbit hole, man. And then to understand that us as Israelite men and women that are pushing the truth, our own people look at us like we're the enemy. when we're trying to save you. We're trying to pull you up out of the mire, out of the dung, to stop having the other nations walk over top of you. Read that book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6. This is the tactic that's being used with our brother Ryan Hinton.
Counter one. It's the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 4. You want to start at verse
Start at verse 8.
Counter one. It's the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
So you're going to observe the same fashion of the heathen or of the Grecians. You're going to have the same mindset. You're going to do the same things we do. And if you don't, you're going to lay down. It's either get down or lay down when we talking about Esau. Keep reading.
Counter one. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
That's this what you got to understand, man. The fear tactic, what is it doing? It's conforming the mind of Israel. It's conforming the mind of our nation, of our young people. Keep reading.
Counter one. Then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Man, so to be able to stand for your law, statutes, and commandments was an honor. But in this life, man, the scripture says that we subject unto payments. So it's going to be trial and trouble that's going to come. And it's what Esau does is he tries to put pressure on you to conform to his mind. So what our people are doing, you don't understand that you're conforming. You have turned from the Most High, and now you're following the ways of the Grecian. You're following the ways of Esau, and now you're glorifying it. This is why our brothers and sisters want prestige and power and money over the laws of God.
That's right.
Because as long as I'm perpetuating their narrative and I'm getting money, I'm okay. I'm doing it. Man, I don't care what people think about me. It's just a job. So you will go and you will start an OnlyFans because you think it's just a job. Or you will start a YouTube channel where you just showing your butt and your breasts all day long. So people can come and put ads on you and push their narrative.
Yep.
Further demoralizing our younger generation, because now they're seeing, I don't have to do an honest day's worth of work. I can do this. I can shake my butt on Instagram and get paid. It took my father or my mother 10 years to make $1 million over the course of a span of time. But I can make $1 million in one. All just by showing my body. All by degrading the moral values of my nation. It's disheartening, man. And yeah, you got to understand the fear tactic is to bring you into subjection.
Every time.
To let you know who's on top and who will always be on the bottom.
Every time.
If you don't conform, death is set for you. When Ryan Hinton stood up for his son, sentence was already passed.
Yep.
And because some of our people have already conformed, he was wrong for what he did. They jump on the side of Esau, just like that.
Yep. And it continues to make our nation weaker and weaker because nobody stands for anything anymore. Let's get First Maccabees. Let's get Second Maccabees. Well, let's get First Maccabees 2 and read verse, I think, what is it? 50. We're gonna stay in go to Second Maccabees chapter 6. Let me show y'all this. Go ahead, bring that up.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 50. Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law.
Do what?
Be ye zealous for the law.
Our people are not zealous for anything. Damn sure not about the law. They're not zealous for no law. Actually, the law has become grievous unto our people. Every video you watch, we ask a brother or a sister about pork, they can't give it up. About shrimp, it's grievous unto them. Matter of fact, God don't care what I eat, but God told you what to eat and what not to eat. Everything is grievous unto them and nothing zealous. They're zealous about what? They know the new shoes, the new J's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything about Diddy trial. They know everything about Kanye. They know everything about social media. They're zealous for that. But when it comes to the laws of the Most High God, they are not zealous for that. They don't care about that. And it's partially, matter of fact, not even partially, almost 80%, right? The church's fault. And then we know who's behind the church. So it's 100% Esau's fault, but it's our fault as well because we turned our back against the Most High God.
Yeah.
Right? Read it from the top again.
Count out of one. Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
We're not willing to give our lives for the covenant of our fathers. Matter of fact, our people don't even know the covenant of their fathers. They're not concerned about searching their fathers. They're living for this moment now.
Mm-hmm.
And they use the Most High God as a slot machine. Give, but no obedience.
That's right.
Give me this. Give me the prosperity. I'm praying here. I'm doing this just so God can give you something. That's how our people are. They just want a gift from. They don't want to serve God though. They'll take all that. Yeah, that's right. The Most High is not a genie. They want to rub the 8-ball and get a gift. They want to. I mean, to rub the magic. What is it? Like a teapot, whatever that was. The genie got right.
Rub the lamp.
The lamp. He come out right, and now they got a gift. They can ask the Lord for whatever they know. The Most High is not like that.
Hey, it's
Salakia.
All right. To that same point, because we know what Judas Maccabees and his band told people to do, right? Go to First Maccabees chapter 5, start at verse 61, because we see the same thing that we're about to read in this passage happening today, right? Keep going. Go ahead.
Count on the one. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act.
So you see, it was a great overthrow. We honestly got destroyed. We took 2 steps back because we were not locking step with who the Lord allowed to lead. We were not, because we saw what Judas was on. He was on, listen, we have to remember the valiant acts of our forefathers. I mean, we have to remember what our forefathers did, and we have to move according to laws, statutes, and commandments. But what happened was, just like it's happening today, instead of unifying and getting behind the law, statutes, and commandments, they thought to, act valiantly and manifest it. It's the same thing that people try to do when they try to go another way. And they act like the Lord is a genie. And like I said, I want to manifest. I'm going to call blessings into my life. I'm going to do everything outside of what the Lord specifically laid down to do. And they try to do so valiantly. And every time that happens, you go outside the order. What happens? There's going to be a great overthrow in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It happened then, and it's happening today. When the Lord set down a program, the Lord likes organization. That's why he is the Lord of hosts. Because he likes a host of organized structure that follows him and takes his command. That's why he set captains over hundreds, captain over 50s, captain over 10, etc., etc. Now, when you go and you're moving outside of that and you try to skip the line and just walk up straight to the throne, you get destroyed, man. All right, keep going. 62, and then I'll get off. That's the point.
Verse 62. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel.
So the Lord had set up people to usher and lead this revolt. And instead of getting behind those people who were leading with the law, statutes, and commandments, they said, I'm going to do my own thing, and refused to unify and got beat up for it. When are we going to learn that lesson and get behind the people that are leading with the law, statutes, and commandments? All right. Oh, you.
Yes, you can go for a walk on the Sabbath day if you wish. It's not servile work.
Yeah.
Nakawasha, you had a point.
Kanye, I don't want. I was just, just gonna land me back on what you were bringing out as far as the, people want to rub the lamp, and the Christian church has perpetuated it.
Yeah.
This is why you have so many so-called prophets all over the Christian church, man, and people flock to them. Why? Because they want to get rich.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get a new. They want smooth words to be said to them. Don't nobody want to repent. Don't nobody want to keep these laws, statutes, commandments. You don't want to hear the judgment. You just want to hear, man, in 5 days you're gonna get a check in the mail for $50,000. That's what people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High ain't no genie just giving you good stuff. He already gave you the good stuff. The law, the prophets, the Psalms, the Gospels, man, the epistles, you got it all. But our people don't want it, man. Y'all wanna be lullabied.
Yeah.
Hey, Salaki.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read this verse, and it says exactly what you're saying. You can go ahead and break it down. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33. I'm gonna start at verse 30. All right. Also, thou son of man, the children of my people are still talking against thee by the walls, and in the doors of thy houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what the word is that cometh from the Lord. So they're taking ear to it. They listening to it because it sounds good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come unto thee as the people coming. They sit down before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will do them not. For with their mouth they show much love, but with their heart they go after covetousness. Here's the point. Right. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
Mm-hmm. That's the way our people are, man. And they don't realize that the scripture, Paul brought it out, same thing. No, don't you know that the spirit that dwelleth in you lusteth to envy?
Yeah.
You never satisfied.
Ever.
So, Salaki, I think that was James.
Yes, James.
And Our people, man, you what's in you is a desire to have. The more that you gain, you still desire more.
Yep.
The most high insatiable. You're not satisfied. It don't matter what you get. The stuff that you accumulate in this life is vain, man.
Yeah. Watch what. Now finish your thought.
But it's the treasures that you lay up in heaven, man. That's what matters. That's what matters, man. You got it, other one.
Go to Jeremiah 6 real quick, now y'all, and read. Start at verse 13. Watch this. Jeremiah 6 and 13.
6 and 13. Count on one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 13. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, every one is given to covetousness.
That's what Nakawashan Aharon is talking about. From the least to the greatest, it's given to. They just want. They have desire. Read.
Mm-hmm.
And from the prophet, even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely.
That's talking about the church. From their prophets to their priests, they did that prosperity doctrine is dealing falsely. No commandments. You don't have to keep the law of the Trinity, dealing falsely. Read. Watch what they say.
Verse 14. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of thy people slightly.
See, they think they're healing the people with that prosperity doctrine, saying what?
Saying peace, peace.
Like
when there is no peace.
It's peace, but there is no peace, man.
Mm-hmm.
There is no peace for us. Maybe you individually have some peace, right? But as for a nation of people, a body of people, we don't have peace in this land. The only time we're gonna have peace is when the Most High Yahweh shall come back. And for most of the people, it's not even gonna be peace for them then. Watch, keep going on, verse 15.
I just lost my place. I got
you. Where they were ashamed,
right here.
When they had committed abomination,
mm-hmm.
Nay, they were not at all ashamed.
See, read.
Neither could they blush.
Go ahead.
Therefore, they shall fall among them that fall.
But that's what's going to happen. They're going to fall among them that fall. Read.
At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, saith Yahweh.
See, all that peace and prosperity doctrine, that's going to be cast down, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They teaching like that's good for our people. No.
Yeah.
No, that's why the YNs, they ain't in the churches. They don't want to hear that. That's why brothers like us got to sit them down and talk to them. But their minds have been so spoiled from Christianity, it's hard for them to hear us. We just can relate to them. But the Bible has become tainted to them because the church has given such false hope in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the church allows you to try to use God as a genie, but then when he doesn't appear, it's God's fault. No, he taught you the Bible wrong, young brother.
Mm-hmm.
The way to use God is to follow his commandments. And even then, it's not going to be easy for you. As Sirach 2:1 says, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation, man. You got to be tried and cleansed. But a lot of people, they don't want to go through that, man. You ever watch an alcoholic go through withdrawals? That's us coming into the truth.
That's right.
That's us coming into the truth. Right? You're trying to break through it. You're sweating, you're shaking, you seeing things, you feeling things. That's you coming into the truth. You got to be washed and cleansed. And then Yahweh may bless you.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, it's Salakia. Give me Sirach chapter 9 and verse 11. Mm-hmm. That's why we have that right there.
You said Isaiah 9:11.
Yep. I mean, Sirach 9:11.
I'm the other one.
Go ahead.
Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner.
Yeah.
For thou knowest not what shall be his end.
So that's why I said, listen, don't put too much emphasis. And then after this, we're gonna read. We can do what? It's 20 and 9, right? That precepts with that. It says, don't envy the glory of a sinner, because you don't know what his end shall be. So a lot of times, this prosperity doctrine is, you see how happy they seem to be. You see how much money they seem to have. Because there's no trial, no tribulation, no accountability. Just let's have a concert and enjoy. But see, the thing is, you don't know what that end is going to be. Next verse, Baba Kashar.
Counter one. Verse 12. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
Right.
Khan. So remember that these people are going to be punished at the end. So don't delight in those things. Don't get caught up, because give me that Sirach chapter 20 and verse 9.
Khan of the one. This the book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 9. There's a sinner that have good success in evil things.
There a lot of times you'll see people who seem successful, but they're successful in the evil thing. And that's that's the foundation of their prosperity doctrine, because they say, look how successful I am. Look how the Lord is blessing me. Look how whatever I have, and we could get the scripture tell you, don't get confused or get too inspired by that thing. Okay. Just because it seems like success. Keep going.
Khan of the one. And there is a gain that turneth to loss.
Because although it looks like gain right now, it honestly is going to turn into loss at the end. So, which is why the best way is to just follow what the Lord says and not be duped by people in a fancy suit or a flashy car, right?
Right.
Where is that? I want to say it tells, because the Lord told you how to get success, right? Give me Joshua 1 and 8.
The Joshua 1. Classic. It's a dagger too. For such in their life have received
Khan of the one.
and have not known me, man.
Yep. So now they should know it by pain through death.
That's right. It's heavy. Bring it out.
This the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
And that meditation is so important, because when you meditate on it, you reflect on it, you play out scenarios, and you say, how can I practically apply these principles in my life? Where did I maybe not do as I should have? So the next time it comes up, how am I going to handle? You meditate on it, you chew on it, you deal with that, right?
Yep.
If you do that, then what?
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
That's right.
Then once you do that, your way will start to become prosperous, and you will have that good success. Okay. And I get it. You don't have to be perfect or live this holier than thou thing, this life to get prosperity. That's what they try to teach you. But the Lord is going to do, as long as you earnestly seek him and meditate on thy ways, he's going to build you up. Wisdom is going to deal with you. Matter of fact, give me that. And give me Sirach chapter 4, read 11, and then we're going to jump down to 17.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, in verse 11. Wisdom exalteth her children, and lay hold of them that seek her.
When you meditate in these precepts, that's the wisdom is going to follow you. It's going to find you. You seeking wisdom, wisdom is going to come to you because you're earnestly seeking her, right? Now, this is a great passage to learn about wisdom, but the point I want is in 17, Baba Kasha.
Verse 17. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
So at first, wisdom is gonna meet you where you at.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is gonna give you. It's not gonna make a mark that you cannot ascend to. Wisdom is gonna deal with you where you are spiritually, and as you seek her, you're gonna start to have that success. You're gonna start to have those good tendencies, right? And then once she meets you in your ways, what's gonna happen?
And bring fear and dread upon him.
Then that's why those who fear the Lord, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, because now you understand what the Lord requireth of you, and now you're moving in a way that to please the Lord, because you fear what happens if you take your candlestick. You gain an appreciation for the power of the Lord over your life, right? So once she meets you in your ways and she brings fear and dread upon him, then what?
And torment him with her discipline.
Because when you know better, you what?
You
do better. And wisdom is going to teach you better. So that way you can have the actual success in your life. And not just working for a corruptible crown, surely not. But we're talking about the many mansions. We're talking about being rich everlasting. Even Yahweh Shai says, listen, I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. We're talking about those riches on the spiritual side, right? Keep going.
Until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws.
And she's going to develop that trust in you and your soul. And you're going to be tried. You're going to be tried.
Right.
But that's okay. Okay? Because what happens after she gains the trust?
Then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets.
Once she gains the trust, and now you're gonna have the wisdom in all your enterprises, and you're gonna get the success. And the Lord's gonna show you how to move, and it's gonna give you favor with people, and He's gonna do everything that it's a light thing to make a man rich. Mm-hmm. But see, that's when you're gonna have the wisdom to see the path that the Lord has set for you. If you follow that way, wisdom gonna try you. She's gonna meet you. You just gotta earnestly seek, and then you're gonna get it.
That's right.
Right? But what?
But if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin.
Then you're gonna fail, and you're gonna I should have just gone the wicked way. Mm-hmm. No, you should just stay in and make wise decisions and walk with wisdom, because then that's when you will have the true success. All right. No, yeah.
Excellent point, man. Excellent point. There's some other stuff we planned on going to, but we hit our 2-hour mark. Well, some brothers got to start going to camp. Let me see how long this video is. This video is kind of long. Right, we'll conclude that, man. I think that was a full class of the Bar4Bar, man, of going into the fear tactic of Esau, man, and how they're trying to destroy that brother, not only mentally, physically, but also right in the limelight and social media light, right? And it was very that security officer, it was he stood up, man, and got in that elevator when they probably was going to brutally beat him again, right, on his way to his next destination, right? So y'all stay tuned, right? Yeah, this is a good scripture, right? Y'all stay tuned into that, right? Obviously, like we said earlier, that Diddy is definitely overshadowing that whole situation, right? And what's overshadowing it is we're not even seeing what's going to happen to the officer that killed his son. Where is that story? So a lot of stuff is being swept under the rug. Why? Right? So they could free that officer probably and throw Mr. Hinton under the jail, man. All right, so y'all stay tuned. Continue to watch that. We'll continue to follow that on the Bar4Bar. Right, if we hear any new news, the water for saying it was a great class. Our praises to the Most High. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Obviously, like we said earlier, right, new moon is not this Monday, but next Monday. on their Memorial Day. So you should have that day off, Lord willing, be able to show up to the new moon or at least be tuned into the YouTube. And then we got First Fruit, right? June 7th, right at evening, 7:45. Make sure you're there in attendance. It's going to be a beautiful lesson taught by the captains and leadership. Also, if you want to join the organization, right, send an email to sotisraelites@gmail.com. If you want to become a Pillars of Rest, right, send an email to that pillarsofrest@gmail.com, right, get everybody in. Also, make sure you tapping into the Patreon. A lot of good lessons coming out there, right? IDC, always make sure you're checking out the IDC store, obviously after the Sabbath, right? And then make sure you tuned in, obviously, to all the classes. C4N, right? Friday Sabbath class with the elder, then obviously the Bar4Bar, SOT's #1 show, right? No, I'm just playing.
Well,
God, all praise though. So with that, I'm Captain Yaquad.
Captain Haran.
Captain Akawasha.
Officer Kwabza all.
Officer Nayar.
Hey, we're the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Is our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. Hey, we about to bump that new Yazabah real quick, man. Y'all. Let's get it.
I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Hey, finally, I broke out that mold. I rejuvenate my soul. I told them demons adios. Cause anytime they coming back like mold, they don't ever really go. They're just waiting by the door. Hey. I can't blame no one for what I chose. Made it bad, of course I know that I'm just reaping what I sowed. Fighting like I'm Bruce Leroy. When my head is underwater, I'm just waiting on the glow. Until it come, the spirits on my top. Devil putting belt to ass. You could be another notch. I get more attention from the fam. Yeah, they checking how I move, but now it's different how they watch. Someone like they waiting for a fall. They're rejoicing if I do, as if I don't know the plot. Don't know the old me is buried alive. I will let you view the body as soon as this post stop. Yeah. See, when you on the right road, the devil takes an avenue to get control of your traction. The soft target, weaker vessel trying to take me out my spirit. I control my reaction. It's easy as the wrong thing being said to each other out of turn. Now we clashing. Surely if I were to give in, everything good in her mind I did would get snatched then. Lord forbid, if I'm not that great and my foot happened to slip and I commit one mistake, tell me you gon' handle me with grace. What about my better deeds? You gon' wipe that all away? See, I pray you never fall, man, but if you ever do, those same balances in place. Remember that while you sitting proud with your feet kicked up as you judge another's case. Are you really in the spirit, or you watch your brother fall, then you go and commentate, Yeah. See, we build a little different. Brotherhood, the last chamber, and that's what we propagate. Yeah. Only leaders in my circles run your mouth like L7s. Niggas moving out of shape. Yeah. We don't never take the bait. See, my logo SOT, that ain't how we operate. And it's the other way.
long as this man here, I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Hey, finally I broke out that mold. I rejuvenate my soul. I told them demons adios. Cause anytime they coming back like mold, they don't ever really go. They're just waiting by the door. Hey. I can't blame no one for what I chose. Made it bad, of course I know that I'm just reaping what I sowed. Fighting like I'm Bruce Leroy. When my head is underwater, I'm just waiting on the glow. Until it come, the spirits on my top. Devil putting belt to ass. You could be another notch. I get more attention from the fam. Yeah, they checking how I move, but now it's different how they watch. Someone like they waiting for a fall. They're rejoicing if I do, as if I don't know the plot. Don't know the old me is buried alive. I will let you view the body as soon as this post stop. Yeah. See, when you on the right road, the devil takes an avenue to get control of your traction. The soft target, weaker vessel trying to take me out my spirit. I control my reaction. It's easy as the wrong thing being said to each other out of turn. Now we clashing. Surely if I were to give in, everything good in her mind I did would get snatched then. Lord forbid, if I'm not that great and my foot happened to slip and I commit one mistake, tell me you gon' handle me with grace. What about my better deeds? You gon' wipe that all away? See, I pray you never fall, man.